It's another day in a world gone mad. I'm Jeff Allen Wolf, and I'm back again to give my commentary on the news. Thank you for joining me. Okay, let's talk about the madness today. Iran launches missile strike on U.S. base in Qatar. On June 23rd, Iran launched a direct missile strike on Al Udeid air base in Qatar, one of the largest U.S. military installations in the Middle East. Now, the strike was dubbed Operation Glad Tidings of Victory. It was Iran's retaliation for recent U.S. and Israeli attacks on its nuclear infrastructure. Now, according to U.S. defense officials, the base's air defense system successfully intercepted multiple ballistic missiles, and no casualties or structural damage were reported. However, the attack forced the temporary shutdown of commercial airspace across the Gulf, causing widespread flight delays in Kuwait, Bahrain, and the UAE. Now, this marked a sharp and dangerous escalation in the already volatile region. Analysts see the move as a strategic message, a demonstration of capability without triggering full-scale war. Now, Iranian officials warned that further aggression could dismantle U.S. military operations across the Middle East. Global leaders quickly responded, urging all parties to de-escalate. Meanwhile, oil prices briefly surged on fears of instability in the Strait of Hormuz, a choke point for nearly 20% of global oil supply, before calming slightly when diplomatic back channels were reportedly activated. So nothing new here. A country attacks another country. That country responds. The original country strikes back. This is the world we live in now, everyone. Israel launched against Iran. Iran then attacked Israel. Trump decided to weigh in and attacked Iran. And now Iran went back at the U.S. military forces. UK evacuates citizens from Israel, closes the embassy in Tehran. The UK Foreign Office confirmed that 63 British nationals were airlifted from Israel to Cyprus aboard a Royal Air Force aircraft as a precautionary measure amid escalating tensions in the Middle East. British citizens in Qatar were also instructed to shelter in place, and the British embassy in Tehran was temporarily closed due to safety concerns. Now, although UK officials stated they were not involved in recent military strikes, these actions signaled a heightened state of readiness as diplomatic ties across the region came under strain. Now, at home, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's government continued to balance international instability with pressing domestic policy. The UK is currently rolling out a 10-year industrial strategy aimed at lowering business energy costs and is also launching a full inquiry into widespread failures in NHS maternity care. The dual focus highlights the complex position Britain finds itself in, supporting the Allies abroad while facing mounting challenges within. Political commentators suggest the government's ability to manage both fronts simultaneously may play a defining role in its stability moving into 2026. Precautionary ramifications, cause and effect, the obvious steps on when things blow up in another part of the world. And breaking news if you haven't seen, supposedly Iran and Israel are at a ceasefire. We'll see how long that lasts. New York declares emergency after storm deaths, prepares for heat wave. Governor Kathy Hochul declared a state of emergency across 32 counties in New York after violent storms swept through the state, killing 3 people, including 2 children struck by falling trees. Now, the storms caused widespread power outages, blocked major roads, and prompted urgent rescue efforts in multiple rural and suburban communities. The state's emergency services were already stretched thin when the National Weather Service issued a new warning: a potentially deadly heat wave was arriving next. Forecasts predicted feels-like temperatures above, get this, 107 degrees across large portions of the state, particularly in New York City and its surrounding boroughs. Cooling centers were activated, and public health officials urged residents, especially seniors and those with chronic health issues, to avoid outdoor activity and stay hydrated. The back-to-back climate emergencies underscored the increasing intensity of weather events in the Northeast, with experts warning that the infrastructure and public response systems are struggling to keep pace. Hochul emphasized that long-term climate resilience must now become a core priority for state planning. Hey, there's no such thing as global warming, right? Those of you in the Northeast, they want they may agree, differently with the so-called Republicans who think this is a hoax. I'm sure they have a lot to say about this. Hot weather is rising everywhere. It's not going to reverse. If you're in a dangerous area, listener, you need to be prepared. Don't pretend this is not real. Zelensky visits UK, urges stronger sanctions on Russia. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky made a high-profile visit to London, meeting with King Charles III and newly elected Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Now, during the visit, Zelensky thanked the UK for its ongoing military and humanitarian aid and called for an immediate expansion of sanctions on Russia's defense and weapons industries. He emphasized that such pressure is critical to preventing further Russian escalation, particularly as Ukraine has faced one of the largest drone and missile bombardments in months, over 350 drones in a single night. While the UK voiced support, efforts to expand sanctions to the European Union hit resistance from Hungary and Slovakia, who have recently opposed deeper economic action against Moscow, of course. Meanwhile, NATO officials are increasing calls for member nations to raise their defense spending to 5% of GDP, citing the long-term threat posed by Russian militarism. Now, the visit served not only as a diplomatic appeal, but also as a warning that without sustained Western support, Ukraine's ability to defend itself and European security more broadly could face serious setbacks heading into winter. Vigilance is being emphasized that we cannot let up in supporting Ukraine. Zelensky telling everyone to keep our eye on the ball against Russia. This is a battle that Ukraine really needs to win with the help of other allies. Breakthrough catalyst makes hydrogen fuel production much cheaper. Scientists in South Korea developed a breakthrough cobalt phosphide nanosheet catalyst enhanced with boron and phosphorus that can produce green hydrogen at nearly half the cost of current methods. The material shows exceptional efficiency and durability, two qualities that have historically made green hydrogen too expensive for widespread adoption. Now, the discovery represents a major leap in electrolysis technology, which splits water into hydrogen and oxygen using renewable electricity. If scaled commercially, this innovation could dramatically accelerate the global shift to clean energy, particularly in heavy industry, long-distance transport, and energy storage, where hydrogen is viewed as a crucial decarbonization tool. Experts say that this new catalyst could significantly reduce reliance on fossil fuels, bolster global climate targets, and make green hydrogen accessible for developing economies. Now, the researchers are now in talks with industrial partners to integrate the catalyst into next-generation electrolyzer systems. For us in the United States, of course, this is not going to take place because of Donald Trump and the Republicans who do not want to make America great again, really great again, because they don't believe in technology that would advance us. They want to stick with coal and, all the other fuels and all the silly stuff that we've been doing, oil, for ages. So wish this would come here, but with this president in charge, good luck. Look, leave your comments and feedback to me of anything on this episode or other at aworldgonemadpodcast@gmail.com. Would love to hear from a lot of you, and I really enjoy reading your comments and thoughts. All right, normally at this time, I would do the uplifting and inspiring story, but I did give you 4 stories last podcast episode, and if you didn't listen, episode 113, shame on you. So I want to shift gears slightly in this episode. I want to offer this fun informational segment, sort of a travelogue about global warming. We all feel it. The heat is different now. It's not just a hot summer, it's a pattern. It's longer, heavier, more punishing. Nights don't cool down, power grids strain, and people, real people, are dying from heat in places where that never used to happen. This isn't theoretical, this is now. So what do you do when the place you live in starts to feel like it's turning against you? What happens when the air outside feels dangerous? Or when wildfire smoke becomes a yearly visitor and floods don't just hit the coast anymore? If you're like a lot of us, you're probably thought about moving. Not out of fear, out of practicality, out of survival. Maybe not this year, maybe not next, but sooner than you thought. The question is where to move. In my special report, I've pulled together a list of 10 U.S. cities that stand a better chance than most. Not perfect places, no such thing exists, but places that are cooler, safer, and better prepared for what's coming. The rankings are based first and foremost on the heat, of course, because rising temperature is the number one threat to us. Then I looked at wildfire risk, flood potential, the healthcare systems, and quality of life. So let's count it down from number 10 to number 1, the best places to survive the future if you're looking to move. Number 10, Cleveland, Ohio. The heat profile: Cleveland currently sees occasional dangerous heat waves, with recent events pushing 105 degrees Fahrenheit plus, intensified by urban heat island effects around Lake Erie. Cooling infrastructure does exist, but shaded public spaces and green roofs are still limited. The climate advantage of Cleveland: located away from wildfires, hurricanes, flooding, and with vast freshwater access, it's a safe climate bet. It also hosts globally renowned Cleveland Clinic healthcare. A major negative: some neighborhoods suffer from infrastructure decay and inconsistent investment. Number 9, Providence, Rhode Island. Heat profile: New England is seeing rising heat nights, prolonged heat waves, with Providence echoing regional warming trends that bring frequent 90 degrees Fahrenheit plus summer days. Urban tree cover helps, but heat equity remains unevenly spread. The climate advantage there in Providence: positioned inland from the coast and guarded by flood control systems. Great healthcare via Brown University affiliates, richly walkable, and low crime. Major negative: strains on public schools and aging infrastructure. Number 8, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The heat profile: Midwestern heat domes are becoming common, pushing Milwaukee into 100 degrees Fahrenheit plus highs and oppressive humidity. Lake Michigan eases nighttime heat slightly, but long-term rising temperatures are still concerning. Climate advantage of Milwaukee: near zero wildfire risk and strong lakeside defenses. Healthcare and affordability are strong. Major negative: city remains deeply segregated with stark disparities across zip codes. Number 7 to move to: Columbus, Ohio. Heat profile: hitting 105 degrees Fahrenheit plus extremes in last summer's heat dome. Columbus is warming fast. Tree canopy is growing, but has yet to cover enough to tip the balance. Climate advantage: no flood, wildfire, sea level risk. Robust healthcare via Ohio State's Wexner Medical Center. Now, the major negative of Columbus: heavy car dependence and urban sprawl, limiting access to cooling centers. Number 6, Louisville, Kentucky. Heat profile: Louisville experienced the recent heat dome with long, sticky summers, limited green infrastructure to combat it. Tree equity is uneven, and some neighborhoods bake while others stay shaded. The climate advantage there: inland, safe from coastal and wildfire threats. Strong medical systems. The major negative there: high allergen and asthma triggers, worsened by heat and plant growth. Number 5, Richmond, Virginia. The heat profile: summer heat is intensifying with temperatures often in the mid-90s and humidity pushing heat indexes over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Flood resilience is solid, but more tree cover is needed in dense urban zones. Climate advantage, elevated inland positioning keeps flooding low. Good health care and recreational river spaces. Major negative of Richmond, significant racial and economic inequality persist in heat-vulnerable neighborhoods. All right, we've covered the 6 there. We're going to the top 4 places from all the research, accordingly, with all the characteristics of places to move to feel safe from global warming. Number 4, can any of you guess it? Boston, Massachusetts. Heat profile, the recent 100 degrees Fahrenheit heat wave struck Boston hard, pushing the city into sustained amber alerts. But Boston has aggressively rolled out cool roofs, flood defenses, and new canopy programs. Climate advantage, global climate leader in sea level planning, top-tier hospitals, excellent transit, and high adaptive capacity. Major negative, unbearably high cost of living limits who can benefit from its resilience. Remember, smoke them if you got them. Well, if you have the money, you can move there. You notice from all the listings I'm giving you right now, we're basically all screwed wherever we move. There's always problems somewhere. I said there were no perfect places, okay? All right, let's get to our top 3 places to consider to move to live out global warming problems. Number 3, Minneapolis, Minnesota. The heat profile, once mild, get a load of this. Once mild, Minneapolis now faces 100 degrees Fahrenheit plus days amid the heat domes, and nighttime lows have climbed, increasing heat-related health risks. Yet robust green space and strong cooling policies at community centers exist. Climate advantage, free from hurricanes, wildfires, and extreme flood risks, boasts the top healthcare, of course, the Mayo Clinic. Major negative, winters are long and brutal, which strains infrastructure and residents alike. Number 2, the runner-up, Raleigh, North Carolina. Heat profile. The southeast warming means Raleigh now regularly sees 95 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit temperatures. Notice the trend everywhere around the country? Almost 100 plus degree temperatures. Global warming is not real, my ass. With rising nights due to density and pavement. Raleigh, North Carolina, the city is expanding tree canopy and investment in green infrastructure. Climate advantage is safe from coastal threats. Strong health care cluster from Duke and UNC. Major negative, rapid growth has spiked housing costs, and its heat infrastructure is still catching up. And here we go, drum roll. Boom. Number 1, according to all the research and all the cross-referencing, Buffalo, New York. The heat profile, Buffalo is notably cooler than other cities, even during heat waves, thanks to Lake Erie's moderating effect and a low urban heat island effect. Heat dome impact is less severe here. The climate advantage, high freshwater reserves, no wildfire or sea level risk, inland flood safety, affordable housing, excellent health care in Roswell Park and UB. The major negative, here we go, heavy snow and cold winters require robust heating and snow removal systems, offset by strong local preparedness. There you go, Wolfpack listeners. The best places to survive the future from global warming if you're looking to move. And if you, the listener, live in any one of these 10 cities, write me, text me, let me know your thoughts. Add some things to these cities, okay? You're listening to A World Gone Mad. I'm Jeff Allen Wolf. I'll be back again Wednesday with another episode. Waiting to hear from you. And if I don't, you know it, I'm sitting in a room talking to myself. Stay hopeful.